Hey guys, Alan Sasoya with MyBadAssets.com, and today in this episode I want to talk to you a little bit about credit repair organization scams, the scams that these guys do. Here's the thing, you can do your credit repair yourself, I've got a do-it-yourself class on that, which I'll talk about later. But if you want credit perfection, then there's some things you really need to know. So let's go over it. Hey all, my name is Alan Sasoyev and I'm the founder of MyBadAssets.com. And I can sit here and tell you guys how all this got formed as a direct result of my activities as a real estate investor and a real estate coach. But I know you guys could care less about that, right? You guys want to learn about credit, credit repair, and how to perfect your credit, don't you? I mean, truth is, you could care less about me. You want to know how I can help you fix your credit so that you can get the things you want out of life, like, new car, maybe purchase a home, or just the peace of mind knowing you have the credit you need if you've got some sort of emergency for yourself or your family. Am I right? Well, it just so happens that due to the activities I do in real estate, I have become a credit perfection expert. And I do mean credit perfection. Here at mybadassets.com, guys, we don't play around with credit repair. I mean, I really believe credit repair by itself is pretty useless. So many times I see people who get credit sweeps done, and sure, all the bad marks on their credit are gone, but you know what? Now they're left with a blank file, and guess what? That doesn't help you guys either. Please take a few moments, check out the content. At the end of the video, I'll give you guys a look at some of the products we've got available now, as well as a bunch of the free stuff that'll help get you guys on the road to credit perfection. Now, if you've not already done so, you should subscribe to this channel because we will be releasing content often to help you guys understand everything that's going on in the world of credit right now. You can subscribe by clicking the button right down there to the right. Other than that, like I said, take a look at the video, ask questions and comments, comment in the comment section. I'm always up for some questions. And take a look at the products and the free stuff I've got at the end. Also, generally I'll mention free stuff that you can get just by watching the videos. The link for that is also going to be at the very end of this video, so watch it to the end and you can get the link there. We're all in this together, guys. So whatever I can do to help you guys, I'm happy to do so. So you guys want to learn about some credit? Let's learn about some credit, shall we?
Now, before I get too far into this, I wanted to talk to you about some of the big scams that are out there in the world of credit repair. And I'm sure you've seen this stuff. It's on TV. It's right here on YouTube. You hear it on the radio. You can even get flyers in the mail sometimes, especially once you get behind on a bill. And it'll be like, credit problems, hey, no problem. Or we can remove bankruptcies and judgments and liens and blah, blah, blah. And, we can erase your bad credit 100% guaranteed. And the worst one I've seen is, no kidding, create a new credit identity legally. I could do several videos on that. There is nothing legal about creating a completely false identity. Do yourself a favor, guys. Save yourself some money. The Federal Trade Commission, which is the nation's consumer protection agency, says they have never seen a legitimate credit repair operation making those sorts of claims because they can't make those sorts of claims. The fact is, there is no quick fix for credit worthiness. You can improve your credit report legitimately, but it takes some time, it takes an effort, and you've got to stick to a personal debt repayment plan. You got to get on a budget. So don't buy the bull. You want to buy something, buy an education in fixing your credit yourself. Then you'll not only be able to fix and repair it, maintain it, build it, you won't get taken advantage of by some shyster. Credit is about risk, and that's risk for the lender, not for you as the consumer. The score you see when you look one up with Credit Karma or your bank may not be the score that the lender uses when they qualify you for a loan or for a credit card. It's said that FICO has as many as 500 different algorithms that they're using to determine credit scores. Now, I don't know about that, but I can say this for sure. I know that they have 50 scoring models that they're public about, and then VantageScore, who might be the new kid on the block, but they're definitely shaping up to be a contender in this world of credit reporting and scoring, has multiple models as well. Now, I am not a credit repair service, nor am I a trade line service. I do not fix your credit. I don't promise to fix your credit, and I'm not going to sell you somebody else's credit so that you can make your credit better. Honestly, I see that as unethical, and it's well known that you can fix your credit yourself. And frankly, the way the laws are written, if you hire a credit repair organization and the credit reporting agency figures out that you've hired a credit repair organization, they'll simply ignore your disputes, and then you'll have that item stuck on your credit report for the next 7 years. Credit repair is not that hard, folks. It takes a little time and it takes a little tenacity. Honestly, I can show you how to make it bulletproof. Also, more importantly, you need to know which steps to do and which order to do them in. We're dealing with federal laws here, and if you don't follow the protocols in the right order, not only will you be ineffective, you may end up actually in worse shape than you were when you started. I'm going to go over these in more detail in the next slides, but here's the basic idea and the basic order in which you should perform these tasks. First of all, just start paying on time. Secondly, pay down your accounts. Less than 30% of the limit is, generally speaking, where you want to be if you can't pay them completely off. Re-age the accounts that are current but have bad marks on them. Now, there's two types of re-aging. One you want to use and another one you want to totally avoid. Again, I'll go over that in a minute. File disputes on any item that is incorrect or even a little bit inaccurate with all three credit bureaus. Add trade lines, but I'm going to tell you right now, add them, but you don't have to buy them. And then, finally, negotiate collections, judgments, and liens. So let's talk about these. The best way to be able to pay your bills on time is to get yourself on a budget that works for you. Americans are not traditionally savers. Budgets are deeply personal, so I'm not going to get into them that much on this video. It's far too short. I spend 2 of the 14 modules of my credit repair course on budgeting, so from that you should be able to derive that I think it's very important. When deciding on a budget, here are the points I think are most important. Pay yourself first, always. You need to start putting money back for a rainy day. We all do. You need at least 3 months worth of income in a savings account somewhere. A full year is even better. Obviously, you can't do that overnight. A little at a time, though, you can make it happen. Perhaps 10%, 20% of your take home every month consistently. Most budgets that I've seen that people are teaching have to do with limiting expenses. And that's good, but that's only 1/3 of the picture. You need a budget that addresses your expenses, your income, and your short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. Finally, it's more than just a budget. It's about changing habits, guys. Probably it's about changing habits that are deeply ingrained over years and years of practice. Let me tell you about a process I teach called the credit card game. Here's how it works. Let's say you have 3 credit cards, one with an interest rate of 28%, one with an interest rate, we'll say 25%, and then one with an interest rate of 20%. You know and I know we need to get all of them paid down, but there's a way to do that that will maximize your effect in terms of your credit score and minimize any hurt to your budget. First of all, pay the minimums on everything. That's going to be very important. Pay them on time, pay them every month, pay them consistently. What I typically suggest is put them on auto debit. This way you'll just save yourself from being late. That's paramount. Then, whatever extra you have after you've paid yourself first, stick that into the credit card that, of course, has the highest interest. Just stick to the minimums on the other two for now. When you get that first credit card below that 30% of whatever the limit is, then back off and go to the next credit card in terms of interest rate. In that case, this would be the 25% card that we just discussed. When all 3 cards at 30% or below what their individual limits are, then go back to the card with the highest interest rate and repeat the process until you get all the cards down to 0. Finally, once that's done, don't go out and party with the extra money you suddenly find yourself with. Take that extra money, which would be both the minimum and the extra you're paying to that high interest card, pump it into the next card, and then when you're at that 0 on that one, pump it into the next card. Do you guys see what I mean? There are 2 types of debt re-aging. One that works for you and one that's going to totally work against you. The one that works against you restarts the clock on a debt's statute of limitations. That's not the one I'm talking about here. Re-aging a current debt is when you contact the creditor, typically just by a phone call, and ask them if they will reevaluate you based on your current history. Tell them the truth. Tell them you had a hard time or you got behind and all that's fixed. Maybe you had a medical issue or a loss of job or divorce or death in the family or something. It's okay to give them that sort of information. You don't need to go into a long drawn-out sob story. Just stick with the facts. This only works now if you've been current for a minimum of 3 months, and really 6 is better. Also, it's better to do this in writing. However, again, a friendly phone call many times is sufficient. Then you tell them what your goal is. Tell them you're trying to get back on top of things. Tell them you're trying to buy a new house, whatever. What the creditor will do, if you get them to comply with your wishes, is to take that late payment that's a bad mark on your credit and essentially wipe it away. They'll either start the history from after that moment, or they'll put a no information mark for that month, which doesn't really count for you, but certainly doesn't count against you. Now, caveat here. This is a bit of a crapshoot, and honestly, it depends on who you get on the phone or who answers that particular letter and how nice you are to them. Guys, you're going to attract more bees with honey, folks. And manners are hard to come by these days, so if you act nice and you act interested in them, you might find it goes a long way. The next step you want to do, of course, is file dispute letters for anything that's incorrect, incomplete, or out and out wrong. In a short video like this, I can't go into all the ins and outs of filing a dispute. There's just not enough time. However, here's the highlights. First and foremost, do it in writing. Phone, fax, online, they simply don't work, y'all. And besides, the laws say put it in writing, so let's follow the laws. Secondly, be succinct. If you've written more than one page, you've written too much. They don't want to hear the whole story. Third, do not make threats. God, I see so many people who try to teach this. You're not a lawyer. Don't speak legalese. Guys, they do this for a living. They hear it all the time. The last thing you want to do is get them on the defensive. You're trying to get these folks to help you. And then the last thing is send everything certified. This gives you a timestamp and a date stamp, and all of this has to do with timing. And again, it's based on the way the laws are written. You know, there's a lot of information out there about adding trade lines to your credit report. Many people aren't even sure what a trade line is. All a trade line is an account listed on your credit report. It could be a credit card, it could be a loan, it could be a mortgage, whatever. Do trade lines work? Well, yes, they do. If you can get a seasoned trade line added to your credit report, then it will certainly help you. However, do you need to pay for a trade line? Well, the answer to that is maybe, and I'm going to tend more towards no. The people selling trade lines online are using a loophole in the law to help you temporarily fix your credit. The operative word here being temporarily. Now, if you're in a pinch, perhaps spending some money for trade lines will help you. However, they come with a price, and the price is high. The average trade line cost is between $700 and $1,600 per line. Perhaps it'd be in your best interest to just go find somebody in your family or a close friend that you can trust that would be willing to help you out. And let me ask you guys another question. What happens when that person who you don't know that provided the trade line to the company that rents it to you goes bad on the debt? Now you look worse. Better yet, my guess, guys, is if you're trying to fix your credit, you really don't have $700 to $1,600 to add one single item on your credit report. And if your whole credit report has late pays on it, then one item's really not going to help you that much, regardless of what these guys are telling you. And that's a simple fact. The trade line broker may or may not tell you that. How much better would it be to get educated on how money and credit works for substantially less money? Like, for example, buying my credit repair course, and then you don't need to spend an exorbitant amount of money on a trade line. And incidentally, like I said, the trade line scenarios are going to be temporary. Whereas education, well, that'll last forever. Here's the thing you need to know about collections. Whether you pay the collection or whether you don't pay the collection is still going to be on your credit report. And it's going to be there for 7 years. Unless, of course, you get good at negotiating. Something you need to know about collections. The people who buy collections buy them for less than the amount owed. So let's say you have a $1,000 debt. You could rest assured that collection agency bought that debt for between $100 and $300. And as the statute of limitation, which is typically 3 to 5 years, gets closer and closer, the debt collection agency knows that it will soon not be able to collect on that debt. The closer it gets to that day, the easier it is to negotiate with these guys. How do you think I know that? It takes a little finesse. It takes a little practice. However, here's the highlights if you choose to negotiate a collection. First off, initiate it on the phone. The reason for this is because if you get somebody who's hungry, you might can generate some interest. A lot of these folks work on commission. Everything else after that point, it's got to be done in writing. Everything from your end not only gets done in writing, but it gets sent certified mail. Now, if they're not willing to take a discount and remove it from your credit report, then it's a no-go. Well, the truth is that's up to you. You could pay them full price if you want to, but the goal here is getting it removed from your report. And if they're not willing to put it in writing that they will remove it from your report, then you just tell them thanks for their time and stop talking to them.
Okay guys, as I pointed out at the beginning, we've got some products available for purchase. You'll notice I don't do any hardcore sales technique. I generally speaking make my money coaching people in real estate investing. Yes, there's products. Yes, they're for sale. Everything here is designed to help you guys out. Okay, there's a do-it-yourself course right over here. There's a do-it-yourself course if you're interested in something like that. And if you'd rather have us do it for you, I can tell you, we are definitely experts at what we do, so much so that we'll even guarantee the results. So if you're interested, just go check out the link at mybadassets.com/products. There's also a free webinar. That'll help you guys out as well. The link is here on the slide. And then for other free resources that I mentioned throughout these videos, you can go here at this other part, Ask Al How, for free credit repair resources. Finally, I want to recommend the only credit monitoring service that we recommend is smartcredit.com. If you click on this link, smartcredit.com/Ask Al How, we have arranged some extra freebies for you guys as our students and our clients. Okay? Again, put your questions in the comments section below. I'll try to get back to you guys as quickly as I can. And remember that here at mybadassets.com, we're not just credit repair or credit fixing or credit restoration. At mybadassets.com, we are credit perfection. That's it for now, folks. See you guys next time.